Media narratives are having a tougher time these days, so it seems anyway. But don't make the mistake of confusing weakness with defeat. They're far from being defeated. And the horrible, irresponsible coverage of the Michael Brown shooting and the absolute lie of hands up, don't shoot, which led to the burning of a city twice and 2 cops getting shot. And an elderly gentleman being beaten with his own oxygen tank. All are perfect examples of this. MRC TV has a new video that they're launching first right here on this program, cataloging what happened in case one of your Facebook friends is still repeating those debunked mantras. Watch this.
After 7 months of investigations and protests, it turns out that hands up, don't shoot apparently never happened.
No, but it was convenient.
I recognize that the findings in our report may leave some to wonder how the department's findings can differ so sharply from some of the initial widely reported accounts, yet it remains not only valid, but essential to question how such a strong alternative version of events was able to take hold so swiftly.
Outrage in Ferguson, Missouri after police shot and killed an unarmed teenager Saturday afternoon.
Say hands up, don't shoot.
I want you to know that our hearts,
Black Lives Matter.
Hands up, don't shoot.
are out there marching with them.
His hands were up.
The execution of Michael Brown.
A very public body of evidence.
When he turned and faced him and put his hands up.
Putting their hands up, don't shoot.
Where are all the white people who reach for guns? Hands up.
Amounts to an execution.
Hands up.
No justice, no peace.
Michael Brown was executed.
It looks like they might have killed another unarmed black teen. Don't shoot.
Michael Brown was shot and murdered.
Let people peacefully protest the murder.
What seems to me to be a cold-blooded murder.
Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot.
Murder.
They were never after the truth. Great video. Dan Joseph of the Media Research Center joins me now to not only talk about the ridiculous narrative building from the media, but also how in some areas like MSNBC's ratings, they're being defeated. Dan, it's so good to see you. Great video. And this, St. Louis is my hometown. And I had family because they put their house up on the market, but now nobody's buying in Ferguson, so it's a nightmare. Home values are plummeting. This city has gone through hell and back because of a lie, and the media promoted this.
Yeah, I mean, they never waited at all to hear the facts, but the liberal media craves this kind of thing because it advances the narrative that they want to have out there, that there's this racism everywhere, that there's, brutality by the police against blacks, and it leads to things not only like that, but silly things like I went to Starbucks today, for instance, and I got my coffee, and they didn't write anything on my cup of coffee. So
did you say is it because I'm white? Is that why you didn't put anything?
I didn't ask. I didn't want to cause a racial disturbance in a place where everybody's holding scalding beverages. But what I did was I wrote hands up, bull poop on there because I thought that was something that, I needed to say. I needed to get there, and I had to take it upon myself to do it.
Good for you, Dan.
And I don't know if you've heard about this, Dana, but in Virginia, where I am, at the University of Virginia, St. Patrick's Day, there was another incident where white cops and a young African-American male got into a bit of a skirmish. He was arrested. He fell on the ground apparently and hurt his head, and there was blood on his head. Well, immediately, before anybody knew any of the facts now, the Justice for Martise Johnson hashtag is going around Twitter. There are rallies at UVA because it is assumed, and the liberal media narrative is already in play, that this was an injustice and that he couldn't possibly have been intoxicated or haranguing the police or anything like that. So the ball, hands up, don't shoot, got the ball rolling. And every time one of these things turns out to be untrue, the media finds something else and they just keep the narrative going.
And this is really hurting their credibility now, especially, and we're seeing this with MSNBC because you all have been following the absolute tanking of their ratings. They're in a crisis mode right now. Tell us about this.
Yeah, well, I mean, the departure of Ronan Farrow and then of Chris Hayes obviously is significant. I don't know. I mean, if it were just about promoting the hands up, don't shoot myth, obviously everybody at MSNBC would be gone. But I mean, it is things like this. MSNBC has a very, very dedicated liberal base, though, and the liberals don't really care.